Hey everyone. So I want to drop in here real quick with a couple of aha moments that have happened recently. And one of which is being in integrity with yourself. And a lot of people talk about being in integrity with others, your bosses, your coaches, your family. We spend so much time being worried about our integrity with others that how often do we talk about the integrity with ourselves? And so, for those of you who have been paying attention, last week Marcus and I finally finished his epoxy pour desk, which has been hanging out for a while. And then this weekend, I've built the shelves needed for our garage to clean up and put the totes and stack the totes so we can get our garage clean. So back to self integrity. Both my son and my wife understand that I'm busy. I have both a business and work full time, and so they're very understanding about that. However, every time I walked by that unfinished desk or that messy garage, it was like, oh, I got to build that shelf, or I got to finish that desk. It was the self talk, and not that I'm beating myself up. I'm very good about not doing that as much anymore. However, it was still something that was open, still something I'd been putting off, still not quite in integrity. So by doing that, I'm cleaning up the things in my life, so I can be in complete integrity with you guys, with my clients, with my boss, with anybody else. However, until I'm in integrity with myself and do what I say I'm going to do for myself, it makes it a little more challenging. Adds a whole new level of confidence. You can see I'm a little tired today. I actually didn't sleep well last night, and it's not a complaint. I'm sore from doing the work that I was doing, which in this case, again, it's not a complaint. It's a hurt so good kind of thing, because it's that feeling of accomplishment after getting that task done, after looking at that and going, yeah, I did that. And then later when you're sore, you're like, yeah, I'm sore because I did that, you know? And that's okay, because that is a good feeling. That's a great feeling. So the other part about this, especially when it came to building the shelf yesterday, the other part about this that I've learned from several people, I think I first learned it from Steve Chandler, and it's been repeated several times. But action creates more action. Motivation is not what you need, and getting into action is going to help create more action. How many times have you started, you're dreading cleaning the house, you're dreading, and you may have an organized house, but everyone has to do their deep cleaning every once in a while, and you're dreading it. You're like, I don't want to have to do all the dusting doing this. But once you get started, you say, I'm only going to do the kitchen. And then once you get started on the kitchen, then you move into the living room. You're like, yeah, let's go. And next thing you know, the entire house is clean. Well, that's because action creates more action. So it's the same thing when it came to building these shelves. I was dreading it. I knew it wasn't a terrible task or anything, but I just I didn't really want to have to go through it. So once I got going, first, as we're driving to Home Depot to pick up the lumber that we needed, as we're driving there, as we're driving home, in my mind, I'm like, oh God, here we go. However, once I pulled out that wood and started cutting pieces, and it got into a rhythm, I'm like, oh yeah, measure, cut, measure twice, cut, cut, get things going. And then when it starts coming together, you're like, yeah. And Anika came out and she's like, hey, it's time for lunch. I'm like, don't stop me now. Don't stop me now. I'm on a roll. Let's keep going. And continued to build and build until this thing was structure was put together. I still got a couple more things to finish today, but the majority of it is done. And you look at that and you're like, yeah, that's right. Now, next weekend, we get to actually clean the garage, put everything in those totes and put the totes in the shelves. However, it doesn't feel so daunting now, because that was the big piece. The big piece was building those shelves. We already have the tubs. Most of the stuff is in tubs already, so we can immediately get that stuff onto the shelf and moved out of the way. And the shelves got wheels, so it's going to roll around. It'll be able to move as we move. So the two things I really want to talk about is, where in your life can you clean up something for yourself? Get back into integrity with yourself. Think about that. And second, what are you putting off where action could create more action? This is what we created, the Upgrade Your Life community, for just this reason. When you want to take ownership over your thoughts, over your integrity, and create results and help find those actions, then this is the place for you. So if you want to learn more about the Upgrade Your Life community, super powerful. You get regular interaction with us, with me, regular coaching from me, regular updates, motivational videos, 8 courses. Anyway, enough about that. So remember, find a way, find something that you haven't cleaned up with yourself and clean it up. Don't beat yourself up. That's okay. We're not here to beat ourselves up. However, we are here to create something that's missing. So find that for yourself and then take the action, because once you take that action, it's going to create more action. So anyway, that's what I got for you today. Always remember, never forget to be schmaltzy. Take care, my friends. Awesome. Awesome.